You scare me.
I understand that. But you don't have to be scared of me, you know. I mean, harming you, harming your mother, even harming Camilla serves no purpose.
How did you find me?
You walk an obvious path. You walk the same path that I would have walked if I had had those contacts that you have. You went to the people that were closest to Camilla, her lovers, male and female. I didn't know who these people were. I knew you were her sister. I figured if you cared about her, you would do whatever was necessary to find her. And so I followed you. And so I'm here appealing to you because I need your help. I want you to help me find your sister and my daughter. And I want the cops involved, even though they're already involved. I want to avoid Camilla going to prison in America. There's no need for that. My daughter, seeing her mom in handcuffs taken away, serves no purpose. It does not help us. The mantra has to be, from everybody involved, what's best for Reya, or Hira, or whatever name she's being called right now. What is best for this innocent child?
Did you hurt them?
Of course not. There's no reason to.
But how can I trust you, or how can I know that you?
How can you not trust me? I didn't come to this bench to harm you. I came here to appeal to you, to meet you. You seem like a kind, empathetic woman. You're obviously doing everything possible to find your sister. That means there's love in your heart for that woman, which means there's love in that heart, potentially, for my daughter.
I have to say, I'm having a hard time finding her.
I know, your sister's a master, absolute master of deception. She told me once, she sounds narcissistic, she told me that nobody else really mattered. If she was okay with who she was, if she listened to her inner voice and acted upon that, the people would benefit from knowing her. So she never took anyone else's interests or fears into consideration. It was always about her and only her. And that if she was in a good place, that would karmically or spiritually affect those around her. So by doing what she's done, she has an FBI INTERPOL warrant for felony kidnapping. She has broken my heart, my family's, my friends. She has shattered people in your own family. She has loved, used, misused several people as she has disappeared with Reya. That's one more thing that I ask. I want absolute no contact with Camilla whatsoever. If there is an issue, whether it's medical, educational, we do that either through family members, through friends, or if we have to, through lawyers, through the advocate. I do not ever want to see your sister again. I don't know what I'm going to do if I can't find her. I mean, this has bankrupted me. It's everything I have in LA is gone. I've sold everything I own.
But it's going to be really, really hard. I mean, you've been in the press, and this is Norway. We're slow.
I know.
And Camilla, she's a very good liar. She's been a good liar her whole life. And it's going to be hard. I mean, I tried. I have contacts, but I've only reached the people that, I mean, they can't say anything. They don't know where she is. Nobody knows where she is.
Can I ask you, when you said that your sister was a skilled liar even when she was young, I mean, do you think she's actually a sociopath? I mean, because she does it so expertly. Do you think she...
Definitely.
So she realizes what she's doing and doesn't care. There's no morality to her.
No, she does what she wants to do.
Okay.
That's what she's done all of her life.
So how do we convey that to the public? How do we rid the automatic suspicion that the father must have done something to this woman?
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, as you said, if I go there with you, I'm her sister, and I know her. I grew up with her, so of course that's a big difference, and I think that can help.
Before I came to Norway, I went to Thailand, where your father is now with his new Thai wife and his Thai family, and
Fuck him.
Well, yeah, I kind of got the feeling Camilla felt the same way. But he goes to this bar, and so I sat next to him and had some drinks with him. He had no idea who I was until I finally broke it, and he was scared, and he was a bit shocked. He's a pilot for SAS, and as you know, but he said that Camilla contacted him and asked for money to travel, and he said he did not give it to her, but that he would buy them plane tickets, or he would get them on a plane without the authorities knowing and fly them back, but only to Norway. Can I trust that he's legitimate in that offer to me?
Yes.
Okay. Good. So if she contacts your dad, then he will help us get him back here. Because that's the whole thing. Because of the international warrant, if the Australian or New Zealand or any signatories of the Hague Convention, any country where she's red flagged at the airport, she will, by law, be sent back to America for criminal trial and then being incarcerated for 5 to 10 years. We know from a private investigator, a Norwegian private investigator, that your family signed what in Norway is called Article 122, which means they refuse to cooperate with the authorities. And legally, you're allowed to do that in this country. In the United States, that's called aiding and abetting a felony. But here you can actually do it if it's a family member. Absolutely fucking ridiculous law. That has cost me everything. But we also learned is that they were then legally allowed to send money to different banks. There was money sent to Goa, India, and I think also New Delhi. There was money when she arrived in Australia for her. Now, since we found that out, there hasn't been any proof of further monies sent. So if you could please talk to your family, cut off the financial help, give her some money or a plane ticket through your father, get her back here. Tell them that by sending her money, by allowing her to keep moving and moving and moving, it is harming their granddaughter. You know, every time she's gotten close to a human being, Camilla's yanked her away from that person to go run someplace else. If she doesn't have the funds to do that, and she can't work legally, and exactly. And so that money being spent on a daughter and a granddaughter they're never going to see.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. It's the wrong way to approach this from their standpoint.
So what do you want to do now?
Well, I think together, if we go back to the press, as you know, I've gotten a lot of press, but you and I have to, as a unit, as a group, do that together. Both sides of this family have come together for the sake of this child. It would be very, very hard for Camilla if she's in Norway, if she's still in Australia, if she's in New Zealand. If we get that publicized, it'd be very, very hard for her to keep spreading the false lies, to keep convincing people that she's running for her life, whatever the fuck she's saying to people. If we do this together, then those people or those potential victims of hers will be able to sit there and say, wait a minute, you're lying to us, Camilla, or whatever her name is, if it's Zelma, whatever she's calling herself now. Your family and his family are together in this. You are the one that has made a mistake. You need to resolve this by going back to Norway and letting that child be part of her father's life.